All right, Shane, so we have Best in the World coming up a little later this month, Friday, June 28th, Ring of Honor Best in the World. You are the current Ring of Honor World Television Champion. You're facing Bandido at that show. Shane, first of all, how you doing today?
I'm fantastic, man. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Well, Best in the World coming up in a few short weeks, one of your first major matches in ROH. You've been there for a while now, recently winning the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, like I said. You faced Bandido before, but how do you think this upcoming match with Bandido will differ from other matches that you've had over the course of your career in ROH?
Because I was never a champion before. I do best when there's a target on my back. I do well when my back is against the wall. I do well under pressure. I thrive under it. I always have. This puts me in a familiar position that I like being in. The position to be able to shut mouths, open eyes, and prove people wrong. Right now, there is a contingent of ROH fans that believe that Bandido is going to walk out a Best in the World with the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, and I get to break all their hearts June 28th.
And you guys have faced off before. You had a match at Steel City Excellence just about 2 months ago. What did you learn from that encounter? Of course, that was before you won the World Television title, like you had said. What did you learn from that match that you think will help you avenge that loss to Bandido, a Best in the World?
Bandido is more resilient than I thought he was. I've hit guys with lesser shots than I hit on him and put them away. So that's something that I didn't expect and I didn't count on. But now that I know that about him, now all I have to do is go in for the kill. I know that I just have to put him away this time. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. There will be no remorse. I'm not only going to have to beat him, I'm going to have to put him down and hurt him. And that's just what's going to have to happen for me to be successful.
And Bandido is just one of the many new names that has joined Ring of Honor in 2019 between him and Tracy Williams, Roosh, obviously most of Lifeblood. Who among them do you feel has been the biggest get for ROH so far, and who among them are you looking forward to facing eventually?
You can't really pick one. All the guys are, fantastic international talents, world-class athletes, world-class performers. For ROH to get all of them is fantastic for us. It keeps competition high, it keeps eyes on the product, keeps people with dream matches and dream scenarios. I'm sure all of them have aspirations to win championship gold in Ring of Honor, and I'm looking forward not only to beating Bandido, but beating the rest of them as well.
And like you had said, this is your first championship in ROH, the TV title. You've gone for the championship before on a few different occasions. You actually unsuccessfully vied for the belt back at the 17th anniversary show against Jeff Cobb, but you finally won at the War of the Worlds tour just last month. How satisfying was it for you to pick up your first piece of gold in ROH at that event, in that Fatal 4-Way match?
You can't even put words to it. For years, I was overlooked, underappreciated, and to be able to say, I told you so, every time I walk out there with that Ring of Honor World Television Championship, drives me just to keep getting better and keep doing exactly what I've been doing. Like I said, I love to prove people wrong, from fans all the way to the bosses who sign the checks. To me, when you don't believe in me, when you don't think I can do something, you put yourself in a really terrible spot, because then everything that I think about is geared toward making you look stupid. In Toronto, that's what I was able to do. Made everybody who didn't think I was going to be champion look stupid.
And was winning the TV title one of your biggest goals upon coming to ROH, or was it just winning gold in general, or just kind of wreaking all-out havoc upon coming to ROH a few years ago?
When you get to certain platform, goals change, right? Mm-hmm. So when I got to Ring of Honor, the goal was to win every single championship that Ring of Honor has to offer, and that's still my goal. Mm-hmm. That doesn't change. Right now, Matt Taven is the only Grand Slam champion that we have. I'm looking to add my name to that list. But as of right now, all of my focus now is on being the most dominant television champion that there's ever been. When you look at the single reign stats, you've got, as far as days, Jay Lethal with 567 days as champion, 35 championship defenses. I aim on shattering both of those, because then Ring of Honor can't use him as their poster boy anymore. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to use me. They're gonna have to show my face. They're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to show the world that I'm the man in the Ring of Honor. So for me, that's what my focus is.
And I just got done reading this awesome interview that you did with Justin Barrasso over from Sports Illustrated, where you spoke a ton about your family, your background, some awesome stuff there that people probably didn't already know, a lot of ROH fans. With Father's Day being this Sunday as we're talking, Best in the World being a little later on this month, and being a father yourself, how much of this match against Bandido, how much does it mean to you coming out from where you started many years back?
Again, it's a culmination of years of hard work and dedication and doubt and all kind of emotions. But come when my music hits at Best in the World, all that goes away, and all the focus is on Bandido. Because if my focus isn't there, he wins, and I lose, and I go back to square one. That can't happen. So once I beat Bandido, then I will be, I will then reflect and see just how, great a moment it was for me and my family. But for right now, everything is just eyes on the prize.
And this will be one of your first major matches with Ring of Honor. But again, you've been with them for a few years now. You were at the G1 Supercard special at Madison Square Garden. Like I said, you faced Jeff Cobb at the 17th anniversary show for that same TV title. But with this being your first title defense as TV champion on pay-per-view, will any of your friends or family be able to attend this event to see you compete on the big stage of Ring of Honor?
Not that I know of, but they've surprised me before. But again, prior to me going out there, my focus is so on what I'm doing that it wouldn't even faze me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even looking for them. It's all it's laser focus. So if some of them show up, great. If not, the job remains the same, and that's to put Bandido down.
Best in the World has been one of Ring of Honor's staple pay-per-views, one of their tentpole pay-per-views for many years now, along with the G1 show, the WrestleMania weekend shows that they do, Final Battle at the end of the year, which you've also competed on in the past. Do you think a strong showing at this event against Bandido can help strengthen your stock even more than it's already been so far in Ring of Honor?
Well, of course. I mean, the eyes of the world are on us, so every performance you have in this company, on this platform, people notice, whether that be good or bad. And so another standout performance, another match of the year performance by me will only go to show what I've been saying for, a decade plus now, that I'm one of the best big men in the world at this job, at this profession, and I get the chance to go show it again.
And kind of going back a bit, you've been with Ring of Honor for a few years now. What was it that brought you to Ring of Honor in the first place, especially now that there's so many different alternatives between, again, a WWE and AEW obviously sprouting up now, Impact, and so many other promotions out there? What was it about specifically Ring of Honor that intrigued you to sign with them a few years ago?
The history, the legacy, the intensity, the physicality, that's what separates Ring of Honor from just about every other company. When you think of, past champions, you look at your Danielsons, your Samoa Joes, your, Tyler Blacks, your Aries, your Nigels, guys that, created a legacy for us to follow for the guys and girls that are there now. And I wanted to add my name to that legacy, and now that I have, the goal is to make sure my name is the most thought of name in that legacy. I've said before that by the time I'm done, which is no time soon, I want my era to be recognized like Joe's era was and Danielson's era was. No matter what talent that we have, I want people to say that was Shane Taylor's era of Ring of Honor.
And you're the TV champion now, but you've been a part of a few different tag teams throughout your time in Ring of Honor, between Keith Lee when you first started out and just most recently Silas Young. Which do you prefer between singles and tag team competition? And what do you feel are the biggest differences between the two for yourself personally?
I mean, there's no preference for me. The job is to go out there and beat your opponent. If you know, if I have my partner with me, then cool. If not, then I do it solo, like I have most of my career. So nothing really changes for me on that end. But the difference in match styles, obviously, you know, if you get tired or you know you're taking punishment, you can tag out. Singles, you can't. You know, it's just you and them. You know, so. That just preparing yourself mentally for that, physically for that, to be able to withstand the punishment, to be able to have the mental toughness to get through anything, that's key. So that's the biggest difference.
And it's been awesome to see you evolve from where you started out in ROH to where you are now, obviously, as the new TV champion. And we've also gotten to know a lot more about you, again, through these interviews that I was talking about on ROH TV, on pay-per-view, and stuff like that. And now as the TV champion, what's one thing that you feel that Ring of Honor fans didn't already know about you before, but you feel should know about you now? You know, people know you as to be this intimidating, dominant force in ROH. But what is something that you think fans don't already know that would probably surprise them?
That would surprise them. I don't know. It takes a lot to surprise people nowadays.
That's a good point.
But I mean, what you see is what you get with me. You know, I could care less about, you know, the social media aspect of the world that we live in, and you know, all of the people that, you know, think that just because they watch us on TV that they, you know, somehow know what we do better than us. For me, this is who I am, is unlike anybody that they've ever seen in this sport. I march to the beat of my own drum. I make my own rules, and I buck the system, and I buck the trends, and I buck the stereotypes that they're accustomed to. So there really is nothing that would surprise them about me, other than the fact that, you know, I speak the truth, and in this profession, that can be a dangerous thing.
And like you said, what you see is what you get with Shane Taylor in Ring of Honor. You go out there, you kill it every single time, regardless of who you're up against. Obviously, and Bandido will be no exception. And you've had some great matches. The Jeff Cobb match was one of my personal favorites from Ring of Honor in 2019 so far. From the 17th anniversary show, it was just a flat-out fantastic match. Who have been some of your favorite rivals in Ring of Honor up to this point?
Well, obviously, you know, when I first got there, it was Keith and myself against then War Machine, Ray Road, you know, Hansen. So they'd be right up there. That was my introduction to Ring of Honor, is going through them. And then, of course, you know, Jeff Cobb is right up there. Bandido is looking like he's going to be a formidable rival for a very long time. And matches that I've had with Jay Briscoe, Kenny King, and others have all sort of guided me to where I'm at now. The lessons in those matches help prepare me for this championship run that I'm about to go on. And I wouldn't have it any other way. All the bumps, all the bruises, all the knocks, all the, you know, all the minor injuries, all of that. It's well worth it.
And you mentioned the feud that you guys started out with between you and Keith Lee against then War Machine. I remember, was it you guys had a fatal four-way tag team match, you and Keith Lee, War Machine. I think it might have been Cabana and Dalton Castle, and then another team. Was that your first? It was the All-Star Extravaganza show at Lowell, Massachusetts. Was that your first match on pay-per-view for ROH?
I want to say probably. And so, you know, obviously in that moment you got butterflies going, and you know, your head is in a million different places, but to be able to be in the ring with, you know, people of that talent level on that stage, and then just to be where I'm at now, and look at the growth and the transition, has been quite a ride for me, and I'm excited to keep it going.
And it was awesome, too. I had brought someone, I was at that show, I had brought someone who wasn't really all that familiar with the Ring of Honor product, and they saw that match, which probably still, I mean, there was the triple threat tag team ladder main event, too, but that specific tag team match that you guys were in was absolutely fantastic, and my friend had walked away from that show like, wow, who are these guys? Shane Taylor, Keith Lee, these guys are absolutely awesome, and it was an incredible performance. Was there anything that you guys learned, specifically you, Shane, that you learned from that feud with War Machine that kind of helped put you on the map in ROH that was like one of those things where like, I should be doing this better, or I should be doing more of this, or something along those lines?
I'm trying to think now of things specifically from that match.
Or just the feud in general, I suppose.
I mean, I just learned, pacing is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, when you watch, for example, I'm a huge fan of boxing, and when you have an opponent who's dangerous, who can win at any time with a punch or a knee, or with guys like Ray and Hanson who bring so many different weapons to the table, pacing is key. Just when you think you got them hurt, you don't, and then you put yourself in trouble. So the ability to plan my attacks, the ability to be strategic with what I'm doing at a higher level than I've ever done it, is something that I take away from that, and continuing to evolve that into where I'm at now, putting that planning together with the offense, with the defense. That's what makes you a world caliber talent. And that's what I'm trying to do.
And aside from Bandido, who is your dream challenger currently in ROH for the World TV title? Someone that you see could be like, wow, that's a big money match. Me versus so-and-so for the World Television title in ROH. And it could be someone you faced before, too.
Well, number one, seeing as how I'm chasing his record, the answer to that one would be Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's a guy that Ring of Honor looks at as their sort of standard bearer. He's the guy that they want to put on all the posters, that they want to be representing the company the way that they feel it should be represented. But I'm champion, and I'm going to do things the way I see fit. So I would love that match, and eventually I'm going to get it. So here's looking forward to that. But as far as just on a world stage, I've said before, Tomohiro Ishii, Minoru Suzuki, anybody from any company really that really feels like that they can bring the physicality and intensity that I bring to that match, I'd love to do it.
And you mentioned before, last question for you, that your biggest goal in Ring of Honor, obviously, aside from just beating everyone possible, is to win every championship. And obviously, you scratched one off the list with the TV title. It was actually at Best in the World 4 years ago, almost exactly, that Jay Lethal won the world title while still the ROH TV champion. Is that something that could interest you at some point in doing a little later on this year, potentially?
I mean, it's definitely something that I keep in the back of my mind. But again, the second that I take my focus off of just defending my championship is the day that I lose it. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it wouldn't be a bad look for your boy to be holding the World Television Championship and the World Championship at the same time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully that's more of a spoiler, less of a prediction, so I'm looking forward to that hopefully happening at some point in the not-so-distant future. But we got Bandido first versus Shane Taylor, Ring of Honor World Television Championship, Best in the World, live on pay-per-view, Friday, June 28th. Shane, thanks so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.